Hello everyone, here we are on the 10th of April and I'm thinking blue today because I'm just thinking blue would work quite well against both of these. So I don't have the kind of blue that I've got in mind in a thicker thread. So I'm going to try today using 2 strands of fine thread. I've got two fine silk threads here, one slightly lighter blue than the other. I'm going to try 1 strand of each in the same needle, so using it doubled, 2 different colours in the same needle. That's the plan, insofar as there is one. Now, in terms of what I'm going to stitch, of course I don't know, but I'm thinking today I want to kind of do maybe a seed stitch with these this sort of mixed thread, and I'm thinking I might have some kind of negative shape, so kind of stitch the background, because I've also got a tiny bit of yesterday's thread left over and I might do something with that. I might not, but I kind of quite like to put that on top of some stitching rather than stitch it to a blank block. I might use that, I might not. So I'm thinking some kind of negative space, and I don't really want to draw around a big shape, and I don't really want any pencil lines showing. So I'm thinking I might use some masking tape to kind of mask off some areas. And this is just normal masking tape, and I have not the slightest bit of confidence in my ability to cut a straight line, so I'm cutting it deliberately not straight. So I'm just going to cut some little strips of masking tape. And I have special scissors for masking tape. I have clean scissors and sticky scissors. These are the sticky scissors. Right. And I'm going to kind of lay them fairly randomly. That one's a bit wide, isn't it? Maybe 3 is enough. I don't know. Let's see. Right, so I've just brought my needle up in this bottom corner, and I'm just going to do some little seed stitches. In this area that isn't masked. And the 2 strands of fine silk are working quite well, actually. It's very subtle, but you can just about see that they are 2 different colours. So you do get quite a nice blended effect. So I'm just going to, that'll take a while, so I'm just going to carry on doing little seed stitches in the plain areas. And seed stitch is just little straight stitches. It's like detached running stitch, really. But, you know, you're sort of trying to space them fairly evenly, and you do them as big or as small as you want. And just kind of make them face all different directions. Just starting my second needleful of thread here. Again, 2 strands, and I'm just continuing to fill in this background. I don't know if you've noticed, I've got quite a sore thumb. Keep catching it on things. And I'll tell you the story. I cut it on a piece of cardboard. It's just a glorified paper cut really, but it's really sore. And I was opening the cardboard box that contained the new blender that I'd ordered. And by the time I'd fought my way into the box, well, both boxes, because the blender was in its own box and that was in a cardboard box. By the time I'd got into the whole thing, the blender turned out to have a broken lid. The lid was completely smashed up. So I've had to parcel it all back up again and send it back, because what use is a blender without a lid? So now I've got a sore thumb and no blender. I'm quite cross. It is annoying, isn't it, when you order something that arrives broken or damaged. Anyway, so currently waiting for a replacement, and when that arrives, I will wear gloves when I open it. Just having a look at my tension now, I think it's okay. Just doing the last little section here. And of course, 2 strands of DMC would be pretty much the same, well, similar thickness as this really, so you could use 2 coordinating strands or 2 contrasting strands. And it would be pretty similar, I think. Although I think once you've stitched with silk thread, I think you never want to stitch with anything else. That's been my experience. Last couple of stitches going in here. Just going to finish that off on the back. Right, let's see what's happened. Let's take these tapes off. Right, there we go. I don't think this little scrap of thread is going to happen today. I think we might save that for another day. But I do think this inner shape perhaps needs some extra definition, so I'm looking at a kind of brownish. I mean, to me it looks like a tree with the sky behind it. So I've got some of this, this is a stranded silk. This is not one of mine, this is one that I've bought. And it's, and I've forgotten what it is. I think it's Caron, C-A-R-O-N. Is that the brand name? It's a bit like DMC stranded floss, but it's silk and it's got more strands. So I'm going to try a single strand of that. So I'm just going to try some little straight stitches along here. And I am very much winging it. And it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work. can see how it might have been more effective, and I will do this probably again, to mask off a section in the middle and then do stitches around it. So your stitches are kind of coming in concentric circles around it. I think that might work as well. Maybe, I mean, maybe better, maybe just as well. But this is the thing, when you try a new thing, you can, once it's down, you can immediately see how you might develop it, how you might do it again slightly differently. I've just skipped over to this other arm here. I'll do the same thing here. Again, I'm not being too careful about the straight stitches. I'm not lining them up or anything. I'm just, well, I'm roughly lining them up, but I'm not getting precious about whether they're all evenly spaced or all the same length. Doesn't matter. Because I'm not a machine. You know, if I wanted perfectly even, perfectly uniform stitches, I would use a machine. I think the slightly wonky hand stitch look is, well, I don't know if better is the right word, but certainly has a different effect. And to me, that's just, it reflects life better, because we're all different. You know, in nature everything is different. You look at the leaves on a tree, they're all different. I've got no idea how this is going to look. Every day an adventure. And as I keep saying, it doesn't matter. You do something you don't like, or you do something that doesn't work particularly well, it absolutely does not matter. It's a testament to the fact that you had a go, and that's what that day was like. Because every day is different. And not every day is spectacular. And there we go. That will do. I think, I mean, there's more that you could do with that if you wanted to. You could outline these, well, if you're going to call them branches, you could outline them with a back stitch. You could add more branches over the top. You could stitch something around here over the blue but under the brown, to just bring out that a little bit more. In this case, I'm going to leave it as it is, because I want to be able to easily remember how I did it. Because I think the masking tape thing is probably a useful technique, because you could cut any shape out of masking tape and use it as a mask and stitch around it. And I think the more I do to that, the less likely I am to remember that, you know, how I did it. I don't watch my own videos. Maybe I should. But there we are. It's plenty good enough for one day out of 365. It's not spectacular, it doesn't have to be. So enjoy your stitching today, and I will be back probably Saturday, Sunday, somewhere along here, depending on how we get on. The next week is going to go up here, I think, and then come back down. Look how little of April there is left. It's unbelievable, isn't it? And that's the first third, top third of the cloth done. Anyway, one day at a time, eh? So enjoy your day, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.